Well, hello everybody. As the title indicates, I'm going to do pita bread in the air fryer. I have a Breville air fryer, a lovely thing that I use it a lot. The recipe that I'm using, there'll be a link to it down below, and it is not for an air fryer. I have made some adjustments to the recipe, and you'll see that as I go along. So if you don't have an air fryer and still want to try making these pita breads, you can do so with just a conventional oven. But I'll list off the ingredients here first, I guess. Is a cup of warm water. They specify 105 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 41 to 43 degrees Celsius. I did not take its temperature. Just tepid water will do. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I always put a little extra in a container like that because you never get it all out of there. 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I guess that was this one. That's the sugar. 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. And this recipe gives the measurements in cups, also in ounces and grams, so I used grams. That's 70 grams of whole wheat flour. 2 cups of all-purpose white flour, and that's 280 grams. So that is the ingredients. It's a fairly simple affair. It takes a couple of hours because of the time needed for the dough to rise and whatever, but I was fascinated that it works so well in the air fryer, in the Breville air fryer, and thought I would try it again and show you people how it works. So without further ado, let's get this in the stand mixer. I didn't use the stand mixer the first time, so I'm hoping there's enough ingredients there that the dough hook will get down into it in the stand mixer. If not, we'll switch over to a conventional bowl. Well, basically, to get started, we add most of the ingredients. The whole wheat flour first, and then add the white flour after this is combined. And the olive oil. Sugar. Salt. And the yeast, and we'll try combining that and see how that goes. Well, that seems to be working pretty good. I'll add the white flour in at least a couple of additions, maybe 3. I'll let that knead for about 8 to 10 minutes and bring you back. Well, that came together very nicely. I don't know, I probably only kneaded it for 6 or 7 minutes. I didn't really time it. Just a little hand kneading here to sort of bring it together. The recipe, as you'll notice, says you get a shaggy dough, a wet dough. Well, I didn't get one this time. I didn't get one the last time that I made it, but it worked beautifully, so we will see, I guess. And Just a little bit of oil. There. Now this gets set aside in a warm place for an hour to double in bulk. I love these bowls. It was a Christmas gift from my sister. A stack of 6 of them, different sizes, all with covers on, and they're very useful. I enjoy them, using them. You haven't got to use plastic wrap to cover anything, you just put the cover on it. So I'll bring you back in an hour's time when hopefully it will have doubled in size. Well, the timer just went off. It's been an hour since I put it to rise, and it's done a pretty good job, I guess. Puffed up nicely. Now I will weigh it and do my 6 divisions by weight, not accurately, but I find I'm not very good at just judging it and trying to get 6 that are relatively equal, so you don't have to do this weight thing. The last time it weighed a little over 600 grams. The same this time, 611.5 grams. So I will try for something like 100 grams, a little more, a little less for each one. And just put each ball under a damp tea towel just to keep it from drying out. I'll show you one more and then I'll bring you back when I finished. After I've got the other 4, I'll bring you back. Well, if you hear a noise in the background, that is the air fryer heating up to 450 degrees. I do them 450 degrees for 4 minutes in the air fryer. If you look at the recipe for the regular oven, it says 500 degrees, 3 minutes. The 450 in an air fryer with fan assisted is the same as 500 in a conventional oven. So if you're using a fan assisted oven, I would drop it down to 450 Fahrenheit. It says to roll them out into a 7-inch circle, and I do that, I guess, as close as I can come to it. I don't measure it, but you want it nice and thin. My circles are never exactly perfect. It seems to want to shrink back. And I do them one at a time. You cook them one at a time in the air fryer, so I only roll out one at a time. So as soon as the air fryer comes up to temperature, I'll take you over there and hopefully we'll see this puff up like my last batch did. Now we wait for it to start to puff and rise, hopefully. I'll bring you back and show you that in a second or two. At this point it sort of looks like a pizza. It's puffing around the edges. It does that before the center starts to rise. Getting puffier there now. Now you can really see it starting to rise up in the center.
Oops. Lights on a 30-second timer when you turn it on. It shuts off after 30 seconds. I leave it now till it's had its 4 minutes. I have the timer set on the stove so I'll know when it's done. And when they come out, you have a plate that you cover with a dry tea towel, and then you cover the pita breads over with the edges of the towel. So I will show you what I get when I finish here. It's had its 4 minutes. I will move on now and finish them and show you the finished product. All 6 have been cooked, and they're still staying nice and warm under this towel. This is the latest one that I did, so it hasn't completely deflated yet, but they all puffed up nicely. And I can tell you from personal experience that they are delicious. So much better than the ones that you buy in a store, in the bread department. I don't know what they add to those to keep them fresh or whatever, but whatever, they're not as nice as these are. And they freeze very nicely. What I did with my last batch is the ones that I wasn't using immediately, I put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. I've been taking them out and either warming them in the microwave for 30 seconds or just letting them thaw out on their own, and they did that very nicely, still had a lovely flavor to them. But I'm just about to have lunch. I'll show you my sandwich in just a moment. So it's just a tomato sandwich, tomato and mayonnaise. I buy those containers of mixed color cherry tomatoes this time of year. It's one of the few kinds that I find that still has some flavor. The other hard orange things that they try to sell you for a tomato in the winter time here are not worth buying, but these still taste very nice. I'll give this a taste. That is so good. Well, I hope you'll give this a try. Whether you're using a conventional oven or an air fryer, it doesn't make any difference. It should come out very nicely in a conventional oven too. And if I must say so myself, they're excellent. So thank you very much for watching.